might be better. There we go. Hey everyone. I know it's been a really long time, but life's been happening. So I've had a few DIY things that I need to get done. We have some visitors joining us in a few months. Yeah, just under 2 months, and we need to get our house sorted to actually house visitors. So there's been quite a bit going on, lots of lifting and shifting, packing stuff away in boxes, and there's some furniture I need to actually sort out because it's not usable in its current state. Add to that, we also have to fit a guest bed into this room, and as you can imagine, chaos ensues. So what I thought I'd do is bring you along on how I am breathing new life back into some vintage furniture that we currently have. I'll turn the camera around in a second so I can show you exactly what it is, but I mean, we haven't been able to use this beautiful furniture in a while, quite a while, a few years, so it really needs to be fixed before we can move on with stuff. So here we have an old Parker lounge, and please excuse the mess, but it also came with 2 of these chairs. This one I have actually already re-webbed, so I've replaced the webbing, so it actually is brand new, nice and springy, and totally usable. So my plan is to do that with this sofa. Now, if you noticed all the mess around me, it is because we're currently in a state of chaos. I got my work from home, my sewing, all sorts of stuff. This is my husband's desk, and we have to fit a guest bed here. So there's lots to be done. Today I'm going to re-web this beauty here, and that means I need to remove each of these straps of rubber Pirelli webbing and replace them with the materials that I bought already. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So I'm sat on the floor. I have my equipment in front of me that I need to kind of get things started. I've got my scissors, I have got a measuring tape because I need to measure the distance between the slots. It's a really odd word. Anyway, I will show you what I mean in a second. I have got my replacement clamps that go on the end of the webbing pieces, and I've got some rolls of replacement webbing. So I'm going to turn you around, show you what I'm talking about, and let's see if we can do this. It's going to take a long time, so I may do some double time video just to show you my process. I may actually even take this stuff into the bedroom and watch TV while I'm cutting strips and clamping those clamps on the end, because it does take a while. But yeah, you'll see what I'm doing anyway. So yeah. Okay, so I need to remove these, and they are held in place into these grooves in the furniture with these here, and they are the grips on the end of the webbing. So first I need to remove all of these. So the next thing I need to do is measure the distance between the, ow, just gave myself a big splinter. Okay, I just need to be more careful. There's some bits coming off. Anywho, I should probably dust this and sand it down, but That shouldn't take long to do, but what I really need to get done is to cut out the new strips of webbing that replace these, and I need to ensure that I cut the right length. And so I'm going to measure from the groove over this side to the groove over this side, and the distance from the groove to the groove is the length that you cut, and then you attach these on the end. And because these actually go into the groove, they give enough resistance, enough stretch, that the webbing is held taut across the distance. And it also apparently gives enough elasticity that, I guess enough tension that it can support 2 bums on seat. I hope I'm explaining myself properly here. Cool. Right. So I've got my webbing. It's all a little twisted because it's been in a roll. And I'm going to measure out 16 3/4, and I'm going to cut it. And if I just do a quick check, it works. Hi. So I just realized, there we go. I just realized that I need to actually measure the width of the sofa, because I need to know exactly how many of these I need to cut to cover the full length. Now, when I first showed you it, the original webbing was spaced, I think maybe like 1 inch or 2 inches between each one. We don't want that. We want them side by side to give as much support as possible. We don't want them spaced apart, because then you're not providing support. So let's measure that now, and then I'll be able to figure out how many of these 2 inch wide strips of webbing I need to reweb this. I'm hoping I ordered enough. When I did my calculations, I actually factored in a 1/2 inch gap between each strap of webbing, but I now realize, now that I have the equipment, that that might be too much. We'll see. Maybe I'll have to order more webbing. Hopefully I don't. Fingers crossed. Okay. So this is exactly 42 inches long. Now, if we were to divide 42 by 2, that's 21, meaning 21 straps. But I know there is it's a little bit snug, because when I did the chair over there, it was really difficult to get them all in, because these are slightly a smidgen wider than 2 inches. So I'm gonna do 20 and see how that goes. 20. So in which case I'm gonna go sit and watch some TV while I do this. I've cut out all of my strips of webbing, and now I'm ready to apply the clamps on the end. And the way we do that is with pliers, and each of these clamps, I'll just see if I can show you, there we go. They have some little hooks on the inside and some holes, and basically you've got to use pliers to clamp this around the end. There we go, around the end of the webbing, so that the little hooks grip into the webbing and kind of push not straight through the holes, but kind of provide enough resistance that there's grip. Now I've already done it with one end. There we go. My face keeps getting in the way. And what I need to do is ensure that the other end has the little ledge, which you can see on here, the little ledge facing the same direction. So we're going to apply it here. I actually need to get it started first. So what I'm going to do is just kind of clamp it a little bit. And just moving along, keeping an eye on it so that I don't overdo it and can't get the end of the webbing through. But now that I've got that bit there, I'm going to put that in here and use some leverage, which I'm really not getting right now. There we go, getting there. Don't know if you can hear snoring, but my husband's asleep downstairs having a nap. Okay, so I've got it on. And I've got the other end on. They both have their little hooks facing the same direction. So that one's done. I am going to just kind of clamp it down a little bit more just so I know that it'll get into the channels that it needs to get into on the sofa. And then I'm going to move on to doing the rest of these. I may be here for a while. Okay, it is now several weeks later and I have finally managed to get all of the ends on all of the pieces of webbing for this sofa. As you can see, I've already applied a couple of pieces just now, but what I've found is that the channels on this sofa, where the ends of the webbing go into, is slightly different to the chairs that came with this lounge set. So this seems to be a narrower channel. So I actually had to go and hammer these ends to make them slimmer, and it has worked for some of them, but it's not worked for all. So some of these I will, like these are the discard pile, I will actually have to go back and rehammer those, but I'm kind of fitting each piece of webbing as I go. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but you know, I guess that's the process when you're trying to restore some vintage furniture. So I'm going to continue doing this. I will try and do some time lapse as I go so you can see me fitting it. I will just say though that because these are elastic, and to create resistance for when you actually sit on the sofa, you actually have to cut these with negative ease. So when you fit them to the channels, what you're doing is you're fitting one end of the webbing into, for example, the back channel, and then you have to stretch the webbing across to the front channel and slide this bit into the channel. Sometimes they go in easily, sometimes they don't, which is why I've got the hammer out, and fear not, I am using it lightly, so I'm not going to damage this sofa. So that is going to be the process going forward. It is a labour of love. It might have been something that we paid someone to do, but money's tight right now, so if I can do it myself, then why not? So yes, here we go. I just wanted to show you the finished product of my reupholstered vintage sofa. Since you saw the last clip, we've actually moved it into this corner. I've covered it with some lovely boutique fabric I got in, I think, Malaysia, and used it to kind of display these kind of fun cushions and this fantastic knitted octopus that my parents made for my husband. So I will remove all of these. So it's still got the original upholstery on it. I've literally just tucked in some fabric to cover the terrible colour upholstery, and underneath I have finished all the webbing. So it is now fully functional. It's going to look pretty in this corner, which is my sewing room slash home office slash spare bedroom. We have built the pull-out bed, and at the moment I've just got some sewing patterns that I'd had rolled up laying flat to unroll. And yes, that pulls out to a king size, which I'm really happy about. So slowly this room is transforming, but I am super pleased to finally have this done. Yay!